Hello, and welcome back to the channel. In this week's episode of Actor Talk, I'm going to be talking about listening. Listening seems like a simple enough thing to do. You just hear what the other person's saying, right? Well, there's more going on than that if you're an actor. When you're listening to someone, you're actually doing a couple of things. First, you're listening to the words. That's obvious. And obviously important, and that's the first step. Second, you're observing the other person's behavior. This is key and what we really need to focus on. When I say observing their behavior, I'm talking about watching their body language, their facial expressions no matter how small or nuanced they are, and even the tone of voice when they're speaking. The reason why this is so important is because when people speak, or even when they're just listening to someone else speak, their behavior tells us what's going on in their mind. Do they agree with what you just said? Are they being sincere? Are they annoyed? There are so many things going on inside a person when you're interacting with them, and it's your job as an actor to pick up on every little thing that's going on with your scene partner. Third is when we observe our scene partner's behavior, we not only recognize it, but we take it personally and let it affect us. What I mean is, if you say something to your scene partner, and they make a slight expression that tells you they think you're an idiot, you let that affect you, take it personally, and be offended by it. This is important because as actors, we tend to get caught up in our own little world of dialogue and planning how we're going to say our lines, as well as planning out our reaction to the lines that are spoken to us. Unfortunately, this gives us a very false performance because everything you do, every reaction, every facial expression, every vocal inflection that you do is wooden, contrived, and obviously planned rather than being spontaneous. So in order to make your performance more spontaneous, more genuine, more real, you really need to listen to your scene partner. Really observing their behavior, how they are behaving right now, letting that affect you, taking it personally, and using that in the scene. Now, how do we work on this idea of really listening and responding truthfully in the scene? With a wonderful exercise developed by Sanford Meisner called the repetition exercise. Here's how it works. You and your scene partner sit across from each other and look at each other. After a moment, one of you turns away, putting your attention fully on something else. Then you turn back, and the first thing you truly notice about that other person, you verbalize. Let's say it's their lips. So you look away, putting all your concentration on something else. You look back. The first thing you truly notice about them is your lips. So you say very simply, lips. Then your scene partner repeats back exactly what they hear you say. So if you said lips, they will say back lips. Then you'll repeat lips. And this goes back and forth, repeating exactly what you heard the other person say. Not what you previously said. So if you said lips and they said something but it didn't quite come out as lips, you're not going to say lips. You're going to say whatever came out of their mouth. Now this is just the very start of the exercise, and it's preparing you so you can build the exercise up to observing your scene partner's behavior or your exercise partner's behavior and verbalizing that. So you look at your scene partner, and what you observe about their behavior is that they're nervous. In your point of view, they're nervous. So you say, you're nervous. And they repeat back exactly what they heard, and they say, I'm nervous. And then you say, you're nervous. Now, and from their own personal point of view, they are not nervous. Their own personal point of view, they're not nervous. You think they're nervous from your personal point of view. That's what you're getting from them. But they don't think that. So they're going to respond from their truthful point of view and say, I'm not nervous. And you're going to say, you're not nervous? Or you might say, you're definitely nervous. All depending on your personal point of view. And this goes on and on, back and forth, changing as the behavior changes with each person. As you observe a behavioral change with the other person, you vocalize that, you bring that out to them, and then they respond truthfully from their point of view about what you said. It's very difficult for me to fully explain the whole process of the repetition exercise in this video, and it would serve you a lot better to actually go out and do it. So I would highly recommend that you go to a qualified Meisner school and start taking classes. Do the repetition exercise. It'll really help you with your acting. The repetition exercise is all about putting all of your attention on your scene partner, getting out of your head, and really listening. That is, listening to the words and observing their behavior, letting it affect you and taking it personally. This way you are having a true connection with your scene partner and you're responding to what you're getting from them rather than planning out how you're going to respond when it may not even match the other person's behavior. Now you may be wondering, how does this apply to a scene? Let's say you're filming a movie. You've done all the work required as an actor. You've read through the script. You've memorized your lines. You've worked on your provocative phrases, key facts, spine phrase, speech and doings, emotional preparation, particularizations, research, all these things that go into preparing and building a character. And I will talk about these various other techniques for character building in following episodes. So now you're ready for the scene. When you do the scene, you know your lines so well that you don't even have to think about them. This allows you to put all of your attention on your scene partner and their behavior. So in the scene, you observe their behavior, you let how they're being affect you, taking it personally, and responding truthfully in that moment. But instead of responding with whatever you feel like saying, you respond with the lines of the character, the lines that you were given to speak. When you do that, you are living truthfully under the imaginary circumstances of the story. Again, I'm skipping a lot of things for the sake of time, but this should give you a good idea of what listening really is and why it's so important. This is a fundamental skill that every actor must excel in. It's the first stepping stone in creating truthful behavior in a scene. So work on this. Take classes in Meisner. Find a teacher. I teach acting, so if you want to reach out to me about learning Meisner, I'd be happy to talk with you and work something out. Learn how to really listen and watch your acting improve very fast. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope it was helpful. Please be sure to hit that like button, and if you're not already subscribed, please consider doing so. Also, click the bell to receive notifications whenever new content comes out. Thanks again, and keep living truthfully.